Hey, it's going to be a beginning GarageBand today for just tracking on top of some existing tracks, like a piano part or something else that already exists that you need to sing on top of. So here we go. We're going to open up GarageBand and see what happens. And off we go. Notice it's opening up a former one that I've done. We're going to say a new one. Okay. And we're going to go here and say new. And it will ask me what kind. And in this case, I'm going to say empty project. I can do settings here if I was recording other things, but this case, we're recording on top of something that exists already. So we don't really need to worry about that at this point. So we're going to say choose empty project. And I'm going to just say, okay, I've got nothing here. And at this point, I'm just going to say, let's record using a microphone. It's already on an input that I need, in this particular case, my mixer. And you can see that my voice is there, and it's cooking away. Next, I'm going to go and get the track that I need out of music or iTunes. In this case, I have a karaoke track that I did a couple days ago for a singer friend. And so there, it just pulled it in, it ate it up, and now I'll just check the track to make sure we're good to go. So here it is. Aha! So we hear that the metronome is going. We don't need it because this is already set for its own tempo. Now, if I was tracking and I wanted to do something more elaborate, I could make those tempos match, but we're not going to do that right now. We don't, because it doesn't matter. We're just going to sing on top of this. So I hear the track. The track sounds great. And now I'm going up here and making this a light gray because that's the active track. This track is active now. Now this track is active, so it's ready to record. The simplest thing for recording, which you're going to love, is if you hover over this button. Normally, if you click on it with your mouse, you'd start the recording. But it also tells you that if you just hit R on your keyboard, it will start recording, which means I don't have to have my hand on the mouse if I don't want to, if I'm doing something else or like my hands free, which I do. I don't like mousing around. So now it's ready to go. Now I've got this still lit up, which is going to give me a count in. It's perfect. Okay. Here we go. Hitting R. This is the sound of my voice on top of some karaoke tracks. Yes, it is. And I could sing whatever I wanted to, and stop and start and add and subtract and cut and paste if I needed to. And it's free because it's GarageBand. That's all I'm going to worry about. Let's hear what we got. So I'm just hitting the space bar to stop, hitting return to bring my cursor back to the beginning. I'm hitting space bar to play. Okay, as you hear it, the voice is being drowned out a bit by the other thing, and all I have to do is I can turn it up here, or I have several other options to get a bigger signal through. This over here is my file drawer. Notice it looks like a file drawer. If I shut that drawer, that goes away, but this gives me a list of things that I can use to help my vocal. In this case, I'm going to use tracking vocal, which is a little preset. And notice it's already turned the monitor on, and I'm going to actually hit that button there. And also has plugins already in there now. This because it's a preset. I'm going to open GarageBand a little bit more so you can see all this. And I'll turn off our quick help because I'm your help today. And notice it gives me some master reverb, some other things like that. I can actually move this around and change the size of that. Okay. I can actually add some more reverb by just pulling this file here. This little slider. I also have chances to do that here. And let's take a listen to what we have now. Karaoke. And I'll bring this down. Yes, it is. And I can bring this up. And I could sing whatever I wanted to, and stop and start and add and subtract. And so I am actually going to go over here to where it says compressor. And it's free And at the compressor, there's a little bit, we can barely see, it says manual, but if I open this up,
Let's hear what we got.
it says, oh, you wanted some preset things for vocals? We can do this. Okay, I'm now going to go back and hit return, start with my vocal again.
This is the sound.
And already I'm picking up sound.
Of my voice.
And now I can even turn the gain
on
here.
top of some karaoke tracks. Yes, it is.
And again, that's a preset for a live vocal.
And I could sing whatever I wanted to.
So it
and
means
stop
I can actually
and start and
mix
add
that again.
And subtract and cut and paste if I need.
Okay, now this all seems difficult because of all the things you can do, but you don't have to do any of that if you don't want to. I could just go back and just record the vocal with a hotter signal coming off my mixer, and that would do it the same, but I also like the sound of this.
It is.
It's done a nice job.
And I could sing whatever I wanted to.
Okay, now you go, okay, well, I've sung with it. Now I've got them balanced kind of like the way I want, and I'm going to show you the simple way to do this, and then I'm going to add one more step, which is for someone who actually wants a really finished product. But it's going to be fine just the way it is. Okay, I could actually say to tell it to stop at this point, and this is a slider up here if you don't know this, but there we go. I'm going to slide this down so you can see the whole track go by. Now up here is very hard to see a very faint little arrow in this far right corner, which is the end track arrow, and that tells you what is going to get sent out for how long. So if you've got more track than you need, you can do that, or you just set it where you need it. But that tells GarageBand where to stop or not. In this case, it's going to stop at this point where I set it at the very end of this track. But in this case, I don't need all that track, and I'm just going to send it out. So now I've got these two tracks here, and I'm going to say File and go to Mix and Share. And share is easy because I'm going to send it right to music. And now I should title it a thing. And I say share. And then we'll see. It goes right to music and it's going to start playing. And it goes into your song files.
This is the sound of my voice.
And there you have it.
On top of some karaoke track.
So that was quite simple to do. Now, I would recommend one more thing if you want a little more professional sheen. And nice things about it that GarageBand, again, gives you presets. So I am going to go up here and to track, and I'm going to say Show Master Track. What this is your stereo signal. So it's the sum of these two going together. But if I highlight this track, notice something shows up over here in my little file drawer here. And I'm going to look at Legacy. And I have Logic, but we're going to stick with GarageBand because that's what we're dealing. And this is a mastering track where it will give you certain setups for different types and styles of music for mastering, which is great fun. And if I just do basic, and I'm going to hit return, and let's just listen to what basic sounds like.
This is the sound.
That's a good sound. But I can go here to ambient and say ambient basic.
Of some karaoke track.
And notice it's giving me a few plugins involved in it.
And I could sing
if I go to
whatever
jazz
I wanted to, and stop and start and
jazz
add
basic
and
finalizer
and cut and paste.
Notice
if I needed
the
to.
EQ has changed,
and it's free.
And I'm going to add a sparkle
because
now.
it's GarageBand.
And all this, so the EQ changes a little bit more.
That's all I'm going to work.
So now I'm going to actually send that out using this particular mastering program. And I go up to share, and I say send it to music, and I say a thing two. Or Thing 2. I like that. Thing 2. Dr. Seuss. He's in the news. All right. Off she goes. And let's take a listen to Thing 2.
This is the sound of my voice.
Okay, that sounds pretty cool. Now I'm going over here and we'll listen to the other one again.
This is the sound of my voice.
Now Now, I hear a difference there. I don't know if you feel like you hear so much of a difference, but it's a wider warmth and different things of that nature that is brought in by the little plugins that come with that finalizer. And again, this is stuff you can just experiment with and try them all while the track is rolling, and until you go, that's the sound I'm looking for GarageBand on steroids. That's where we take it to one level more than most people do, and I recommend it. And we're going to stop this here at this point because I think you've got the gist of it, and you can pull all those tunes right out of your music file in your iTunes and pull them all into an email or into a PowerPoint program wherever they need to live, and they will do just dandy. And that's my story. And we'll see you next with Beginning GarageBand.